Entering Team Select screen, the Oakland Raiders, the home team, are selected.
Can Khalil Mack get his revenge? It's the coach. This is the start of Week 5 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, it's our first transatlantic game of the year, as it'll be the Oakland Raiders as a home team taking on their former All-Pro Khalil Mack and the Chicago Bears. I'll see you again at halftime. But first, let's get you across the pond to good old London, England. Standing by, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one, between the Chicago Bears and our home team. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they can get it.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This one taken from the 7. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Quarterback Mitchell Trubisky leading out the Chicago Bears. Former number 2 overall pick out of Carolina. Big improvements in year 2 for Trubisky. Touchdown spiked from 7 to 24. Yards per game went up by almost 50. And, of course, most importantly, the Bears went from 5 wins to 12 and an NFC North title. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go, Pete. Tighten up. Alert. He's checking. Crash. Alert. Protein spill. Sick guy.
They'll run with a 3rd-year man. This is Tariq Cohen. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
Trubisky gives to Cohen. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a 2nd time.
Watch the curve. Check 3. Hey, alert. Man,
A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky going to let one fly for Robinson. And a little floater there is incomplete. And, Charles, now we get our first look at this offense.
And one guy you have to look at in particular is Kyle Long. Can play guard or tackle with a nice degree of nastiness.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. And he'll wind up taking this all the way down to the Raiders' 21-yard line. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Now a shotgun handoff to Cohen. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured bear on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They run with David Montgomery, the 3rd-round pick from Iowa State. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here are the Raiders under head coach John Gruden in his 2nd go-round. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well. Won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Shotgun now for Carr. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. And the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
And there's offensive tackle Trent Brown, signed away from New England in the offseason on a 4-year, $66 million deal to protect his new quarterback in Oakland, Derek Carr. No stranger to the Bay Area. First 3 years in the league were with San Francisco as a 49er. He can play left or right tackle.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They run it with a rookie from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. 24th pick in the spring by Oakland was Josh Jacobs. Only rushed for 640 yards last year at Alabama, but when you consider the offensive depth chart they had, it makes it understandable. So young, won't turn 22 until February, and they're really hoping that the veteran presence of 30-year-old Doug Martin can be a guiding light for Jacobs. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
On 2nd down, it's Cohen, and he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Hey, 18.
They go play action with Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, 81 yards as the Bears push further out in front. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Throwing on first down is Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Second year in Oakland for Waller after being signed off the Ravens practice squad, but only 6 catches, 75 yards a season ago. Then he got a lot of hype in the offseason following OTAs. Their offensive coordinators saying, you know, Darren, you have that position. Coach Gruden went as far as to say, Darren, you have the chance of a lifetime here. Well, now it's time for Darren Waller to go out there and prove it. And once again, he's going to be stopped up behind the line. Second straight play. Shades of the 85 Bear defense a little bit. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Carr going to try and throw on third down. It's a screen to Richard. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and the Bears take over. So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start with a give to Cohen. And he'll work this one out to about the 38. Vontaze Burfict, the one to get him down. Here's how they'll line things up on the defensive side of the ball for Oakland. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, they are certainly getting one in this ball game because they're facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means it's going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again. Alert 3, alert 3. Red, up. Red. Check 49, check 49. Check. Recon, 132 fighter.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally taken down at the 44-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that if they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
Watch the slant, watch the slant. Watch the slant, watch the slant. Check, check, check.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. On 2nd down, Montgomery. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down.
Check 52. Move. No.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. Caught by Montgomery.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. This from 54 yards away. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one, because normally, if he misses, it's accuracy, not length, because he has plenty of leg for that. But maybe it's like I hit my golf shot, you know? Maybe it's like my wedge. You know, when you chili dip and you hit the ground ahead of it, sometimes that'll shorten your distance as well.
The 1st down run not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. A look at the starters now defensively for the Bears. They were very good a week ago in the win over Minnesota.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch the pass.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. From the gun, it's Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Oakland. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Oakland. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that had far too much air under it. It's out of the back of the end zone, and the football will come out to the 20-yard line. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started. At the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for them.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard.
Alert, 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 alert.
They run. This is Cohen. And an alley to run. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 16 yards, a first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Alert, 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 alert.
Here's Trubisky. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
That was a dangerous throw towards the end zone. Boy, did it hang up there forever. Wanted to run up there and pull it down out of the sky.
Yeah, it felt like it really should have been intercepted. Lucky to have that one back.
You've got to be more careful when you're that close to the goal line.
On 2nd down now, it's Montgomery. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down.
Alert, alert, alert. 18.
On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5.
Lock in.
Following the penalty, Montgomery. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hey, watch the slant. Hey, ball. Ran, Chuck.
Now a run with Montgomery. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Hey, 18.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. This one into the hands of Burton. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. He's got Burton here. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
He's coming, double up.
On 2nd down, it's Cohen. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down.
Now Cohen. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1?
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, a chip shot here.
And this is no good. Close, but he misses just left of the upright. And this score will stay right where it is.
And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Tyrell Williams heading back out onto the field now. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Working from the gun, it's Carr. That's complete to Richard, the running back. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Operating from the gun, Carr. And that is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Fielded at the 20. A great return there of 22 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. From midfield now, here's Trubisky. His throw incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. The Bears on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the first down yardage. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Mike. You're not ready. You're not ready. Protect. Alert.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. That was close to a big play, and just a little bit too far that he was led. He caught it but couldn't stay in bounds, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not very good at these sort of things, but I have to believe the farther you are downfield, the less your margin for error in throwing the ball, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so they gave it a good effort there. Really tried, just couldn't complete it.
Second and 10. It's Trubisky again. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's caught for a Bear touchdown. It's the tight end, Trey Burton. Trey Burton, his first touchdown of the year as the Bears push further out in front.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 21-0. A drive there of just 4 plays, and the end result is a Bears touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Short boot, take it at the 21. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. A reminder about Sunday Night Football later tonight. It's a rematch from the divisional round last year. Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Then tomorrow on Monday night, the Browns and 49ers from Levi's Stadium, where the Browns already playing their 3rd primetime game in the season's first 5 weeks. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, Carr, and Waller taking it in over the middle. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Carr going to throw. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Mike 58 right there. Let's go, team. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Give the sack to Aaron Lynch, the former USF Bull. Another try after the first down sack. Carr will swing this one out to Richard. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Carr. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
And what with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been terrific so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Back to you. Check right. Watching you five. Yeah.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey. And it's the Giants who have the lead as they approach halftime. Eli Manning still got it. 3 touchdown passes. From there, we'll head to Pittsburgh to check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting Jaguars. Jarius Wright, a touchdown reception. In our game, it's been Mitchell Trubisky who's looked sharp thus far. His guys have a 3-touchdown lead as we're about ready to go into the second half. And to get you through it, we give it back to Brandon Gaud.
As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. On the ground, Jacobs will get the third quarter started. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Carr. And that is intercepted by the all-pro safety, Eddie Jackson. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but if the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
previous play is under review. After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Carr gives to Richard. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Carr to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Ryan Quigley now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fielded just inside the 30. A good return there, 17 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
18. Deuce. Hey, Topper!
from just shy of midfield. Trubisky, he's going to float this one deep right side. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the third down play.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Lock in. Tighten up.
First down, a run with Cohen. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Check safety. Hey, ball.
Now it's Trubisky. He's going to float this one deep right side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. A gain of 32 that time.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5.
18.
They'll run with Montgomery. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Second and goal from inside the 5.
You. Watch the ship. Red, touch. Watch the ship.
Trubisky will throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Here we go again. Red, come.
This is Cohen. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. You know what? I know it's 4th down and they've got a big lead, but go for it.
Yeah, and why not, right? Because they have the big lead. But don't you have to have a little bit of admiration for these guys on the defensive side of the ball? They've been shoved around this entire game, and they're making a nice goal line stand here. It would be fun to see them stop them on 4th down, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but it's like putting whipped cream on broccoli at this point.
So what you're saying is they're going to go for it on 4th down. They're going to get it, aren't they?
I would.
Watch the screen. Check 24. Check 24. Yep.
4th down. Here's Trubisky. And my goodness, this is incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on fourth, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much fourth downs were emphasized, you know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on fourth down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
Carr and the Raiders come up first and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's a little bit different size than they're used to seeing in Chicago, playing the middle linebacker position. But undersized or not, his speed is absolutely overwhelming. And when he arrives with a thump. The city of broad shoulders loves Roquan Smith.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Carr. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Carr. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here's Ryan Quigley now, standing just about on his own goal line. And it's fielded at the 34. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't give it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goal.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Tariq Cohen with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, had a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Akeem Hicks that time on the tackle.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Carr now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Carr. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. From the gun, Carr. He'll find his running back here, Richard. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Oakland. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because What you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Check. Check hot route. Alert, 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 alert.
From the 27, Trubisky. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Alert, 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 alert.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back them up 5.
Still third down.
Delay of game penalty. Ships them back 5 yards, makes it 3rd and 10.
Alert, 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 alert. Kill.
On the ground, it's Montgomery. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Alert, 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 alert. Hide.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback. Say, alert, 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 alert.
They run. Montgomery. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Not today, you are. Not today. Shaking.
They'll run on first down. Cohen. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They try again with Cohen. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard.
It's our time, guys. It's our time. Check the lock in, lock in.
Now Trubisky. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
I can't believe they even let you play.
Operating from the gun, Carr. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now Carr, throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. From the gun, it's Carr. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Oakland. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken around the 12. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Bears take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Hey, ball.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Gary and Conley, the one to bring him down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
2nd and 7 at the 35-yard line.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Squeeze, double. Hey, 18.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down.
All right, T, let's try. All right, T. Red, up.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 3rd down.
Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears 1st down.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
Check 55 to Mike. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Watch the you draw quarters. Switch. Under 10. 10. Check. Crunch.
1st down. Here's the run with Montgomery. He's got daylight. The 20. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Pinheiro now to add the extra point.
Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. From the gun, Carr. And his throw here's incomplete. Deion Sims is tight end, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now Carr, it's a screen to Richard. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here. Carr now throw. Complete. Smith has it. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Oakland. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now is dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Ah, yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Alert!
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
Alert!
Now Montgomery. A good comeback there after the penalty. 9 yards, and it's 2nd and 6.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On 2nd down, Montgomery. Arden Key, the ex-LSU Tiger there on the stop.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Bears on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And an alley to run. And just shutting him up. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play. So it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Now the final act of this victory, the extra point. It's up and good, and they add one more to what will wind up a fairly lopsided victory. So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know some coaches preach that and tell their teams that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for Chicago, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gordon.
Post-game
Saying
report
so long,
players'
everybody.
stats.